So, good morning students. So, today we are going to learn tangent function and the inverse tangent function. So, in our previous class, we have studied sine and its inverse functions, cosine and its inverse function. Okay, cosine we also call it as cos. So, cos and its inverse, sine and its inverse. So, today we are going to learn tan and its inverse. So, tangent is nothing but tan. Okay. So, inverse we also write like this, that is cos inverse of x. We also write it as arc cos x. Okay, so arc cos x is nothing but cos inverse of x. So remember this. So arc sin x is sine inverse of x. So arc tan x is tan inverse of x. Okay, remember also this. So tangent function only in short we call it as tan. Okay, tangent only in short we call it as tan. Okay, first we will see the domain. So y is equal to tan x. Consider y is equal to tan x. So y is equal to tan x when you consider tan x is nothing but sin x by cos x. And we know that when x is equal to minus 3 pi by 2, minus pi by 2, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 and all this, the denominator will become 0 because cos pi by 2 is 0, cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. So, the tangent function is not defined for these values of x. So, the domain is R except, so we have seen this table in the first page of the chapter itself. So, tan x domain is R except 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 comma n belongs to z. Okay, so this is the reason why the domain is taken like this, and the range is R. Okay, range is R. R is, what is R? R is a set of real numbers. So R is a set of real numbers and it is nothing but open interval minus infinity comma infinity. Okay, so R is equal to, actually you take it as equal to, okay, R is equal to minus infinity comma plus infinity. So and that is the range. Okay, so now this tangent function, period of this tangent function, period of tan x is pi. What is the reason? We have studied the definition, f of x plus p should be equal to f of x. So here we have only f of tan pi plus x. Tan pi plus x is equal to tan x. Okay, pi plus x, what is it? 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta lies in the third quadrant. So third quadrant, tan is positive. Yes, all silver teacups. So tan is positive in the third quadrant. Therefore we have plus, and 180 is even. Therefore we have tan itself. So our pi plus x is tan x. Therefore the period of tan x is pi. And this function, tangent function is an even, it is an odd function. Tangent function, tan x is an odd function. It is an odd function. Why? So this also we have seen. When f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, we call it as an odd function. Here tan x is equal to sin x by cos x. We know that sin of minus x by cos of minus x if you take, then what is sin of minus x? Sin of minus x is minus sin x and cos of minus x is plus cos x. Therefore, what do you get? Tan of minus theta. So, this is tan of minus x. So, tan of minus x will be minus tan x. Okay. It will be equal to minus tan x. Therefore, it is an odd function. Okay. Tan x is an odd function. Then, this table is given in page number 143 in your book. So, with this table you can plot the graph. Okay, you can plot it when we can draw. See here, x if you take minus pi by 3, minus pi by 3 is nothing but minus 60 degree. So, tan 60 is root 3. So, minus pi by 3 means minus 60, minus root 3. Then minus pi by 4 is minus 45. So, my tan 45 is 1. So, minus 45. So, minus 1. Minus pi by 6. Minus pi by 6 is minus 30. So, for minus 30 we have minus root 3 by 3, that is nothing but 1 by root 3. Then tan 0 is 0. Then similarly we have the positive values. So, when you plot all this on the x-axis and the y-axis, so see here, this is the origin. Okay, O is the origin. So, when you draw, and we also know that tan 90 is infinity, it is undefined. So, tan 90 is infinity, so it goes up. Okay, so we have curves like this. Sin x and cos x, the curve was continuous, but here the curve is not continuous, therefore it is discontinuous. So, when you plot these points on the graph, we get this type of graph. And when if you notice, at minus pi by 2, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, that is at 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, okay, where n belongs to z. At this point, we have infinity, therefore, we have a straight line at this point. Okay, 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, we have a straight line, and these straight lines are called as asymptotes. Okay, they are called as asymptotes. The straight lines at pi by 2 are called as asymptotes, and they are called as actually vertical asymptotes because the lines are vertical. We call it as vertical asymptotes. So, x is equal to pi by 2 minus pi by 2. Okay. So, all this are called as vertical asymptotes, that is x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, n belongs to z. All this will be getting vertical asymptotes. Okay. So, this is the diagram we have seen. So, now we will see the properties of the tangent function. So, properties. So, first property, the graph is not continuous. It is not continuous, or we can also say that it is discontinuous. Okay. Then the partial graph is symmetric about the origin. We have seen already that when the function is odd, it is symmetrical about the origin. Therefore, it is symmetrical. Tan x is symmetrical. So, it is symmetrical about the origin. Okay, symmetrical about the origin. It is symmetrical about the origin. Then third one, we have vertical asymptotes. Okay, so it has infinitely many asymptotes. Infinitely many asymptotes at x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n belongs to z. Then the function, this tangent function, has neither maximum nor minimum. Okay, it has neither maximum nor minimum. What about sine and cos? Sine and cos, we have seen that it is minus 1 less than or equal to sine x less than or equal to 1. Similarly, minus 1 less than or equal to cos x less than or equal to 1. So, minimum value is minus 1 and maximum is 1. But this tan x has neither maximum nor minimum. Okay. Then, so because this doesn't have maximum and minimum, the amplitude for the tan x cannot be defined. Okay, the amplitude cannot be defined. Okay, now we will come to the inverse of tangent function. Inverse of tangent function. So, what is the inverse? When does the inverse function exist? When the function is 1 to 1. So, in the original domain R except 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, it is not 1 to 1. The tangent function is not 1 to 1. Therefore, we have to restrict the domain. Okay. So, now the domain is restricted to open minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2, and the range is R. So, R is nothing but minus infinity comma plus infinity. So, when this domain is restricted, when the domain of tan x is restricted to this, we get the inverse function. It becomes 1 to 1 or bijective. So, we get tan inverse of x. So, tan inverse of x is from R to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Okay. So, do you remember for sin x and cos x we used closed interval. Here we are using open interval. Okay. Why open? At minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 we don't have a curve. Okay. It is undefined. We have only vertical asymptotes for tan x. Okay. So, vertical asymptotes for tan inverse of x becomes horizontal. Okay. So, here we use only open bracket and not closed bracket. So, differentiate it and learn. And this is called as the principal domain. Okay. So, minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 is called as the principal domain. So, now we will see the graph of tan inverse of x. Graph of tan inverse of x. Okay, so the first graph is of tangent function, and see the second one, it is for tan inverse. So, as we have seen in cos and sine, what do you have? The values of x axis goes to y axis and y axis goes to x axis. Okay. at pi by 2. At pi by 2 we have horizontal asymptotes. Okay, at x is equal to pi by 2 and x is equal to minus pi by 2, we have horizontal asymptotes. Okay, so see the curve, eppadi turn aguduma. So here it goes up to the end. Okay, it is extended. So see here, what are asymptotes? In the x is equal to minus pi by 2, அதாவது x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, n belongs to z, is called as vertical asymptotes as well as horizontal asymptotes. What are asymptotes? Asymptotes are the lines, okay, lines which touches the curve, lines which touches the curve at minus infinity and plus infinity. Okay, so diagram la theriyudalama, the first diagram la paathom paru, idu see here, ரெண்டுமே டச் ஆகவே இல்லை, கர்வும் அந்த ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் லைன் வெர்டிக்கல் லைனும் டச் ஆகாது. ஓகே, அப்போ எங்க போய் தான் டச் ஆகும்? டாப்லனா பிளஸ் இன்ஃபினிட்டி, பாட்டம்லனா மைனஸ் இன்ஃபினிட்டி, அங்க போய் தான் டச் ஆகும். therefore we call the straight lines as asymptotes. Okay, so tan x க்கு வந்து vertical asymptote சொல்றோம், tan inverse of x க்கு வந்து horizontal asymptotes. Okay, so now so when you see a few notes are given here, the inverse tangent function is strictly increasing and continuous on the domain minus infinity comma infinity, and the curve y equal to tan inverse of x passes through the origin and it is symmetrical about the origin because tan inverse of x is an odd function. Okay, now we will do exercise 4.3. Exercise 4.3, first question. So first question is, find the domain of the following functions. So first one, tan inverse of root of 9 minus x square. So what is the domain? Okay, domain for tan inverse of x is minus infinity comma infinity. So see here, this should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, that is tan inverse of x, this square root 9 minus, this should be greater than or equal to 0. So tan 9 minus x square, when you consider this, 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0 because we have the square root. So when this is greater than or equal to 0, what do you have? 9 is greater than or equal to x square. So 9 greater than or equal to x square, we can write it as x square is less than or equal to 9. So that can be written as modulus of x is less than or equal to 3. So we know that when modulus of x is less than or equal to r, minus r less than or equal to x less than or equal to r. This we have studied. Okay, we studied in plus 1. So how do you write this? Minus 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. Okay, so this is the domain. So x belongs to minus 3 comma 3. What about the second subdivision? Second subdivision is 1 by 2 tan inverse of 1 minus x square minus pi by 4. Okay, we have seen already that we have to take only the argument. So what is the argument here? 1 minus x square. Okay, so 1 minus x square, here it belongs to minus infinity comma infinity. So, because that is the range, okay, that is the range, therefore 1 minus x square belongs to minus infinity comma infinity. So, what do you have? Not the range, it is the domain. So, what is this? So, when you take this, you will get definitely x will be belong to r minus infinity comma infinity. Therefore, x belongs to this whole interval. Okay, next we will go to the second question. Second question, first subdivision you can take it for homework. Second question, first subdivision you can take it for homework because the similar ones we have done in the other class, okay, for sine and cos. So, what about the second one, tan inverse of tan minus pi by 6. Okay, this also is very simple actually. So, we know that minus pi by 6 belongs to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Okay, it belongs to this interval. So, therefore, what do you have? Therefore, tan inverse of tan minus pi by 6 is equal to minus pi by 6. Okay. So, to make it simple. So, therefore, minus pi by 6 we get. Okay, now coming to the third question, all similar questions as we have done in the previous exercise 4.1 and 4.2. So, here third question, first subdivision and third one you can take it for homework, simple questions. So, I will do only the second one. So, what is second one? Tan, we have to find the value of tan inverse of 1947. So, what is it? So, since the domain of tan inverse of x is R, we can take, therefore, what do you have? Tan inverse of 1947 is equal to 1947. So, the other two problems you can do it similarly. Okay, now we will go to the fourth question. So, fourth question, 1 and 2 we will do now, third subdivision you can take it for homework. So, fourth question, first subdivision, tan of cos inverse of 1 by 2 minus sine inverse of minus 1 by 2. So, it is equal to, what is it? Tan cos inverse of 1 by 2. We know that cos 60 or cos pi by 3 is equal to 1 by 2. And what about sine inverse? Sine minus pi by 6 is what? Minus 1 by 2. Because sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. Okay. So, therefore, what is cos inverse of 1 by 2? Cos inverse of 1 by 2 is pi by 3. And sine inverse of minus 1 by 2 is minus pi by 6. So, what do you get? It is equal to tan pi by 3 plus pi by 6. Okay, so this is, you can put it in. So, what is it? Take LCM. Tan of LCM is 6. So, 2 pi plus pi. So, it is equal to tan 3 pi by 6 which is equal to tan pi by 2 which is equal to infinity. Okay. Now coming to the second subdivision. So second subdivision is little different. We have not seen such type in the previous exercise. Okay. So sin tan inverse of 1 by 2 minus cos inverse of 4 by 5. So here let alpha is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. So what is tan alpha? Therefore tan alpha is equal to 1 by 2. So here we will find therefore sin alpha from this. Okay. So what is sin alpha from this? So tan alpha is 1 by 2. So you put it in the right triangle. So this is 90 degree. So this is alpha. Tan alpha means opposite by adjacent. So which is opposite side? This is opposite side. So this is 1 and this is adjacent. So 2. So this is the hypotenuse. So what we have? 2 square 4 plus 1 square 1. So it is equal to root 5. Therefore, what is sin alpha? Sin alpha is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So 1 by root 5. Okay. So similarly, you take let beta is equal to cos inverse of 4 by 5. So what is cos beta? Cos beta is equal to 4 by 5. So therefore, what is sin beta? So here also same way you draw the diagram, right triangle. So this is 90. So this is beta. So cos beta, therefore adjacent is 4, adjacent by hypotenuse. So this is 5. So what is this? Root of 25 5 square minus 16. So it is root 9. Root 9 is 3. Therefore, what is sin beta? Sin beta is equal to 3 by 5. Okay. So now, what is the question given? Sin of it is given. So we will write this as sin of tan inverse of 1 by 2 minus cos inverse of 4 by 5 is equal to, we take it as sin of tan inverse of 1 by 2. Can write it as sin inverse of 1 by root 5 minus cos inverse of 4 by 5, we write it as sin inverse of 3 by 5. So now what form is this? We are having sin inverse of x minus sin inverse of y. So we have a formula, we have a property, the proof we will be seeing in the later exercise. So sin inverse of x minus sin inverse of y is equal to sin inverse of x into root of 1 minus y square minus y into root of 1 minus x square. Okay. So we are going to use it here. So in the place of x we are having 1 by root 5. In the place of y we are having 3 by 5. So this is equal to, now it is equal to, so this is formula. Okay. So this is the formula you should remember. So this only we are going to use now. So it is equal to, so what is it? Sin of sin inverse of x So what is x? X is 1 by root 5 into root of 1 minus y square. So y square is 3 by 5 the whole square. So 9 by 25. Then minus y is 3 by 5. Then root of 1 minus x square. X is 1 by root 5. So this is 1 by 5. Okay. So simplify this. So it is equal to sine inverse of 1 by root 5 into what you get here when you take LCM. So taking LCM, 25 minus 9 which gives you 16. So 16 by 25. Okay. So root of 1 minus 9 by 25. 25 minus 9 by 25. So what you get? Root of 16 by 25. So root 16 is 4. So 4 by 5 minus similarly 3 by 5 into, here also take LCM. Root of 1 minus 1 by 5 is equal to root of 5 minus 1 by 5 which is equal to root of 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 is root 2 by 5 root 5. So it is equal to now sine inverse of 4 by 5 root 5 minus 6 by 5 root 5. So LCM is 5 root 5. Therefore sine inverse of 4 minus 6 is minus 2 by 5 root 5. Therefore it is equal to sine inverse. So you get finally minus 2 by 5 root 5. So this is the answer. Okay. So similarly you can do the third subdivision. So why we are taking sine alpha and sine beta? Because first outside the bracket what you are having? Sine. Therefore we are taking sine alpha and sine beta. So similarly third subdivision we are having cos. So what you have to find? Cos alpha and cos beta. Okay, find cos alpha and cos beta and do it. Similarly you will be able to find the answer. And the formula for cos, I will give you the formula for cos inverse. So for cos inverse the formula is cos inverse of x minus cos inverse of y is equal to cos inverse of xy plus root of 1 minus x square into root of 1 minus y square. Okay. So this is the formula for cos inverse of x minus cos inverse of y, which you have to use it in the next subdivision. Okay. So hope all of you understood tan x and its inverse. So keep learning. Thank you, students.